Happy semi-quincentennial Independence Day, folks, and welcome to Perfumery Log, the show about taking control of your fragrance life through the power of essential oils. I couldn't let my nation's 250th anniversary pass without doing something distinctively American in the perfumery, so I've decided that my America 250 perfume is going to be on the theme of American breakfast. This perfume is fundamentally political because I believe that it is about to be morning in America. And the fastest way to make morning come when the sun just won't rise is to start making breakfast. So, I have decided to make a perfume that smells like an American diner breakfast. Now, credit where credit is due, this is not a new idea. The perfume Bacon Gold had a bacon note and a pancake note almost 20 years ago. It was a novelty perfume from the 90s. But honestly, everywhere I go, all around the world, and I've traveled a lot, one of the things foreigners would most recognize about Americans is our taste in breakfast food. Because the whole flapjacks, bacon, and sausages for breakfast thing is very distinctively American. You go to Europe, they all do continental breakfast there. They have a plate of crudité, they will have some croissants and some espresso. But like the rich American table with coffee, water, milk, and orange juice all at the same breakfast table, that is very distinctively American, and our fixation on pancakes and sausages is especially American. And you think about your political life. Where do you meet your candidate for Congress? At the pancake breakfast, of course. When people want to get the man in the street's opinion for the newspaper, where do they ask? In a diner having breakfast. American breakfast is such an integral part of our culture that I honestly think this deserves a fragrance. And I honestly think with the current trend for gourmands, people would be a lot less unlikely to wear a sausage-scented cologne. Now, also credit where credit is due. The whole reason there's a sausage note in this cologne is the president's longtime bodyguard, I'll put a picture up in the side, recently had his picture leaked, and someone on Blue Sky said that he looked like he wore a sausage-scented cologne. And that immediately made me revise my notion of a breakfast perfume from bacon to sausages, because that actually sounds pretty good. So, tune in and enjoy as I blend my America 250 special fragrance, American Breakfast. And if you stay to the end, I will share a very special poem I wrote just for the occasion. Okay. Tear. Good. So we begin with the solids. I will need 0.1 of ethyl alcohol. .15. .13. .12. Okay. Good on ethyl maltol. This needs to be how much? 0.3 of a gram. 1 gram of 10% vanillin. That's 1.6. I like to build my formula from the bottom up so that when I am working on it, I can remember where I am just by looking at the ingredients on the computer. So I always work from bottom to top for that very reason. Okay, next ingredient, benzoin. I have a sample of a new, much more expensive benzoin than the one I've been using. The one I've been using is dissolved benzoin crystals, and this is an actual commercial benzoin from Eden Botanicals. And so we will see if this sample of benzoin improves my stuff relative to the benzoin I make by dissolving rocks of benzoin. This might smell better and or work better. Certainly won't leave as much grit in my perfume. Okay, so we've got benzoin, ethylvanillin, vanillin. Have any 10% glycol, so I'm going to have to make some. One moment. Where's my glycol? Whew, this stuff is strong. Okay, there's my 1/10 of a gram of glycol. Now this gets diluted. Point 4, 0.6. 0.9. Come on. 1.0. Okay, good. Glycol is extremely powerful, and you don't want more than a tiny, tiny bit of glycol in your perfume. So okay, that's 0.13 of 10%. I need 0.6. Did I even? fact, I'm going to underdose this on purpose. Because honestly, I think 0.04 of a gram of actual glycol will probably be quite sufficient. Okay. Next thing that needs dilution. Aldehyde C18. We need 1.8 grams of C18, 10%. What if I just make that 0.2 of a gram of the raw thing? Gram of this. And this is marked as aldehyde C18 10%, but is actually 10%. Is actually 10% coconut in its own form. Okay. So now we've got our base with the smoke, with the coconut. Good. Open up some milk. Milk lactone is a very, very potent ingredient, much like aldehydes are. And milk lactone is finicky about the way that it's handled. So, milk F-Tech. How much is this? 0.15. 0.5. 0.1. 0.16. Good enough. Be a little bit overdosed, but what do you expect with a hand trimmer, huh? Okay. Got milk, got aldehydes, coffee. I bought this months ago, and I've been saving it for a special occasion. And our nation's 250th anniversary seems like a special enough occasion to me. So, coffee bean CO2. I need 0.3 of a gram. Oh, look how dark and beautiful this is. coffee CO2 is supposedly a very, very potent ingredient. So we will see. Definitely smells like coffee. You can smell it from here. We'll see how well this does in the fragrance. Okay. Maple lactone. Another very powerful aroma chemical. Maple lactone, I need 1/4 gram. .22. 0.26. Close enough. Oh. Oops, just put the coat back in so it doesn't stink up the place. Next would be let's kind of caramel for another stuff. Some of these materials that have to be done drop by drop can be a little bit concerning to work with sometimes. Okay, now we get to my favorite part, the sausages. Okay. Tear the scale. 0.8 of a gram of coriander. 2.5, 0.7, 0.82. Oh well, close enough. Okay. And fennel. My fennel is looking a bit the worse for wear. It froze and I had to heat it last time I used it, so. 2.6. Now, this is the only one, black pepper, that I am straight up relying on Google before. I've never worked with black pepper before. 0.4 of a gram sounds like kind of a lot to me, but it's half the amount of fennel, so we will see. better underdose than overdose on that one. Okay. Next up, 2 grams of caraway. I only have this tiny sample of caraway, but fortunately caraway is very, very strong. And so my tiny sample of caraway should be plenty if I let it be. 0.6. Yeah, that's way more than I'm going to be able to use. They say caraway smells like rye bread, and it definitely does. Okay. I need to weigh this accurately. I can't with all this gunk on my thing. 0.31. Okay, well, good enough. It's 3 to 10%. It's going to need 3 grams total. And yeah, you probably shouldn't be handling aroma chemicals barehanded, but do as I say, not as I do in that respect. Okay, so I need what, 2 grams of this? Okay. There is 1 gram. And there's 2 grams. And I'll probably wind up wasting this teeny bit of extra caraway, but oh well. Caraway and benzoin can just go back. It's zipped up for future use, maybe. Okay, so we've added black pepper, caraway, coriander, fennel, maple lactone, milk, aldehyde C18, glycol, vanillin, ethyl vanillin, benzoin, and what's left after that is to put 2.5 grams sweet orange. That's one. That's two. Two, 2.3, 2.5. And this is so when you first put it on, there's that little bit of cologniness before it turns into sausages and bacon and all of that. Always tear so that you know just how much your formula is. And we pour this. I'm not going to add alcohol right now because this one is going to need to macerate for a while before I try it. But American Breakfast Perfume. All the smell of a typical USA breakfast in one perfume bottle. Happy sesquibicentennial. May it be a semi-quincentennial. Well, you guys stayed all the way through the perfume blending, so I'm going to share my poem with you. I call this one Morning in America. Is it morning in America, she asked. Does the day begin at midnight, or in the darkness before the dawn? Have we not all pondered these questions in those 3 a.m. reveries, when the sleep just won't return until you've processed? The dark midnight of the soul. A full night's sleep from bedtime, yet somehow hours before the sun. This is the hour of the morning that it is in the United States of America today. A witching hour when the veil is thin, and the monsters in our minds come out, to walk that fuzzy borderline within us, where the difference between a dream and a nightmare is so much finer than you believe. Because it is here that the magic happens, bubbling up from our collective unconscious, seeding our minds with precious dreams, dreams of power, dreams of glory, nightmares of international disgrace, prophetic dreams that look into many futures, so that we might find our way through the darkness of the night to the brilliance of a brand new day, when there's sunrise on a new America, and the light returns again. Happy sesquibicentennial. May it become a semi-quincentennial. And stay tuned to Perfumery Log for more perfume blending and other fragrance videos. Check out the videos right here if you're interested in seeing more blending and a little bit more about the ingredients I'm using. Thanks.